Greetings, Cincinnati. This is actually the evening of November the 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. Brother Leroy here in Cincinnati. I want to remind people that we got this Community Emergency Response Team training coming up, the CERT team training, the Community Disaster Preparedness training for the community. If you're not in Cincinnati, just follow along with me here. CERT is a disaster training that allows people to be ready to take care of their community. It's a FEMA downline volunteer program, but it has great potential. So, starting December the 7th and the 10th in 2022, we're starting our training. I'm gonna give you this information now. We're in Cincinnati, and this is CERT basic training. It's 21 hours of basic training. It's going to be an extended period of time for this training, but it'll be definitely worth it. There's no cost to the training. It is absolutely free. If you can see this screen, you can call me or email me if you have any questions. I am a State of Ohio certified instructor by the Ohio EMA. I just re-upped my stuff in October. In October of this year, early part of October, I was up in Columbus, Ohio. I went for a weekend training, got everything updated. I stayed over an extra day to even talk to the Ohio EMA about my beliefs and my concern as a student in the Nation of Islam, as a person who understands that black people are going to be more vulnerable when disaster happens. So if anybody thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about, you can tell the Ohio EMA to unvet me and take my instructor, whatever. Anyway, so I'm definitely qualified to do what I'm doing. When most people think about disasters, all you think about is necessarily what you hear in the news in reference to make a kid have a plan and be informed. That's great. That is called disaster preparedness, and anybody is there if you do those steps. However, what I'm coming at is the ability to be more connected with the system, to have people that are a part of a team so that they're more connected to the system, so that their community is more connected to the system. So when you deal with that aspect, it's not just self and family, you're talking about a group or a community that knows how to, as a team, we make a kid have a plan for the community, and we establish a network where we're connected with the system. In this training, the CERT training, I don't know if you can actually see this, but in the CERT training, what you become, and this is key because once you take this training, I'll ask you, what is a CERT? What is a CERT? And you should be able to say a CERT is a disaster asset and an extension of first responders. That's what you are. You become a disaster asset and an extension of first responders. And what makes you that? Because this 21 hours of training is giving you some basic understanding of disaster preparedness, command and capacity, which really is CERT organization. It tells you how you're connected to the system, the fire department, the emergency management agency, the whole 9 yards as a community. You're going to learn fire safety. You're going to learn life search and rescue, because we may be asked as a team, if we practice together, if we work together, to go out and search a certain area because the system is overwhelmed and they need that extra help. You're going to learn medical operations, because if there's a major disaster, we may have to triage people and hold them because the first responders are so busy all over the place that they need help. And we help them by triaging people and holding them. You're going to learn disaster psychology and something about terrorism. It's a very insightful basic training. But after basic training, you stick around and you become a part of this team, or you move on. But you hopefully will stay and become a part of a team. And I'll reiterate right here that my job as a certified Ohio EMA instructor is not just for the black community. I'm qualified and able to do training for CERT in all the other communities in Cincinnati, and that's really what I want to do. But my priority is definitely my community. So once you get this training, you become, and when it says extension of first responders, you're an extension primarily of the fire department and emergency management system like that, the emergency medical services process, right? Because you're holding people until first responders come. But as an organization, as a team, now you begin to look at, well, what's going on in my community? So you can mitigate all hazards by finding out what's going on and taking action to deal with that. You'll have preset communications, knowing who to talk to, knowing where things things are coming from. Community emergency operation plan. Your community has a plan because you're working with the people in your community to know what's going on. You know that if a push comes to shove and people have to be sent somewhere, then you know that who's got them, where they're sent, and how to get them back. So all of this is very important. Mutual aid agreement. Let me say this, for example. Major event happens, lockdown, and babies in the homes crying. We need to have a mutual aid agreement with the nearest Kroger. Like if something major happens, our team is going to make arrangements with that Kroger to come get baby formula and diapers for that community so that problem is dealt with. That's a mutual aid agreement in advance. Okay, so these are the things that we can do as a team. Moving on. Real quick, you can kind of look at this, and this is stuff that you can find on the websites that I'm going to mention at the very end of this video. Again, this is just something that shows you how, if you went to our CERT.org site, which I'll show you that, you can read how we first came about in 2013. This is 2014. We partnered with Metropolitan Housing because we talked to Metropolitan Housing and their board member, particularly my sister, Artia Malley, and Sister Artia, please forgive me if I mess your name up. Sister Artia Monique Malley. You know, I got all tongue-tied at the board meeting, but Sister Artia took it over and as the vice president of our CERT team, and she made it where we were able to work with the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing. This right here is us dealing with a get passing out information at a Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing event. And the reality is that Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing realized that if the power grid goes out, the people in Metropolitan Housing after 3 or 4 weeks can't stay there, so they got to go somewhere. And so it's best that they have this training so they'll know what to do, know what to expect. Even if they get sent somewhere, they need to know how to, if not being able to phone back, radio back if they got people that are on CERT teams that are trained. Let me give you a hint. Brothers, if you're in Metropolitan Housing and sisters got your baby, power grid out, they got to go somewhere, you ain't going. Did I tell you, you ain't going? You can think you're going to get on that bus, but you ain't no resident of Metropolitan Housing, and she ain't taking her and her baby to go with you nowhere. But if you took the CERT team training, we might have an ability to you to accompany them, ability to you to get there. It's some leeway there about how things can happen if you understand the system. Moving on. This is 2015. By 2015, we had, from 2014 to 2015, we had kind of grown. Matter of fact, this is Lieutenant Sampson. Sheriff Neal sent Lieutenant Sampson to do the ceremony for our team that graduated. This is not all the people. There were other students in this particular class, but we lack men. Black men, we got to get involved. I want to say shit gonna hit the fan, but people are hearing that so much that you don't really understand it. Let me say this. Black people are going to FEMA camps. Black people gonna potentially lose their children because we ain't ready. I've been saying this for quite a period of time and people ain't getting it, but I need brothers to help me out with this. And particularly if you love your people and you care about your people. Most people just want to take the training and get a certificate. I got a certificate, and then they go on about their business. That ain't gonna work. Here is our training. I'm gonna tell you our training is gonna be at the Cincinnati Recreation Center primarily, but some of our training will be at Cincinnati State College. This is an old class. This is the 2016 training. That's Sister Chandra Collins, and brother gonna beat me up because I can't think of his name right now because I'm in the moment, but that's us doing fire safety training, and I think fire safety training this year, Chief Maybod over at Cincinnati State is going to do our fire safety training, and potentially we'll have our light search and rescue training done by them. Moving on. By 2017 at New Prospect Baptist Church, we had realized that, wow, you know, this is our home base. Well, let us put some chickens out there. Let us put some birds out there. Let us put some bees out there, right? Because we realized that, wow, we can start doing some resources that are readily available. And then at the same time, we realized, whoa, we can start working with as a team, we can start doing something to work with children in the community or homeschooling networks. This is what we can do as a team, you know. And we realize that if we push this thing out, we can deal with reductions of crime and violence in our community. The CERT program is really a powerful program that can be used by us. And we had some obstacles. We had plenty of obstacles, I can tell you that. But we kept on moving. So let's just go ahead and talk about the specific days of this training. Our primary training, again, is going to be in Evanston Recreation Center. It's 3204 Woodburn Avenue. This is our primary location. Then our secondary location is going to be, some of the classes will be at Cincinnati State. Our class is going to be, we're going to go through February, Wednesday and Saturdays. There's a class every Wednesday and Saturday coming up starting on December the 7th. 2 weeks in December, we don't do anything. Now, let me get you this right quick. You only have to attend one of the classes, because I'm going to do the same class here and the same class here, same class here, same class here. I'm going to do a module twice to try to get people to actually be able to attend. However, the Wednesday class, as it stands right now, and this can be modified by the students and the candidates in the class, the Wednesday classes are from 4:30 to 7:30, Cincinnati Recreation Center, Evanston Recreation Center, 4:30 to 7:30, starting on the 7th. And on the 10th, we'll also, with all the classes are, as it stands right now, considered to be at the Evanston Recreation Center. However, on the 10th, the Recreation Center let us know right away that they were unable to facilitate the class on the 10th, Saturday the 10th. So that class is going to be down the street at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, which is 1809 Rutland Avenue. 1809 Rutland Avenue. It's practically right across the street from the dairy on Montgomery and Dana. So instead of coming here on the 10th, if you're a student or a candidate getting ready to do our class for this, you're going to actually come to 1809 Rutland Avenue, which is practically right across the street on Dana and Montgomery from the dairy. And our Saturday classes are from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So the Wednesday class, again, all this is written right here because you can freeze your screen and look at it. Wednesday classes are 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturday classes are 10:30 to 1:30. Again, only one class is required per week. So if you miss a Wednesday class, you can pick it up on Saturday. Now, if you miss a Saturday class, if you're part of the Saturday group, then we're gonna make up the classes. If people are really committed to it, we'll make up the training. Again, that's self-explanatory. I got 2 slides and we're out of here. I have to teach you that there's, out of the book, there are 3 types of disasters. This is the lesson part. There's natural disasters, technological disasters, and man-made disasters. Natural disasters, earthquake, hurricane, you know what that is. Technological disasters tend to be a chemical spill or a train derailment, some type of an accident based on technology. Man-made disasters. Man-made disasters in the book, that FEMA book that you're going to get, and it's going to be a book. This is not the manual, but there is a manual that'll be thicker than this book right here. You can use this folder to get it in. We'll get folders for you. But when it comes to man-made disasters, what the manual tells me to tell you about is terrorism and war. But let me tell you, I'm a Black community CERT team coordinator, right? So I have to speak to my community particularly. So white people, if you get offended by this, that ain't really my problem. But in reality, what the Black community has to figure out in relation to man-made disasters, terrorism and war, within that mix right there is white supremacy. And boy, have I ran into a lot of white supremacy in this process of doing this. Matter of fact, and I'm gonna move on real quick. The first time I went to the Hamilton County EMA to learn about the CERT program, guy came out, told me he didn't know what I was talking about, sent me on a wild goose chase. This guy turned out to be the director of the Hamilton County Emergency Management Agency CERT program. Later on, I went and snuck and got some more information, came back, sent by the fire department. This guy even kicked me out of a meeting. Now, he's no longer there, but he's still a part of the system, and there's still some doo-doo in the system. So let me move on and drop this right quick so that you can continue your day. Again, this is what it looks like. 3 causes of disasters. This is out of the CERT manual. This is the page you'll see in the manual when we do that particular portion. But as a black man, I need to really could tell you, because FEMA don't care nothing about your political persuasion or your religious persuasion. It's not even a concern. FEMA cares about the continuity of the United States government and the continuity of order, okay? So if I talk as a person, religious or culturally, that's who I am, and that's how I deal with my community. But as a black man, I need you to understand, because I really push this, especially because as a CERT team program coordinator, when we ran into so many obstacles with white supremacy and some of the stuff that we were dealing with, we at a point created our own organization called FEMAP, Federal Emergency Minority Advisory Program. I teach CERT, but my home team, my original team, is an organization known as Federal Emergency Minority Advisory Program. Let me wind this down right now and just say that, again, divine intervention is a reality. I don't need to touch base on that. I think I'm running out of time. How much time I got left? I got 4 minutes left? Okay, well, that's a lot of time. But no, real quick. So again, divine intervention is a reality. And matter of fact, this is what's important to the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is going to live forever. This whole transition of black people coming out of 400 years, we're going to live forever based on the fact that we know that there are more than 3 causes of disasters. If America doesn't recognize divine intervention, she won't make it. So as we go into what we got to do is rebuilding the nation, then we need to understand that divine intervention is a reality. Self-improvement, that's what's going on with us, y'all. We got to improve ourselves after the 400 years. Let's get better. Let's become men and women that support each other, community, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a minister, so I'm not going to go there. Okay, now what am I getting out of here? I am dropping this down. I am dropping this down. Come on, you ain't responding quick enough. Okay, we had some technical difficulties. I'm back and I'm leaving real quick. Again, at the end of here, look, we have a Facebook page, CECERT5, CE space, you can see this, CECERT5. Go to the Facebook page and you can actually look at this visual here. You can follow the instructions here. Where is it? Okay, follow the instructions here. This will take you to where you can actually download the documents and you can read the documents that I'm talking about that gives you all the information. We also have a website, cecert.org. You can go there. What is CERT? You can click on this. This will take you to a YouTube video made by FEMA that gives you 3 minutes or so introduction to what the CERT team is about. You can also click here and access the documents that I was just talking about also, right? And that's it. We don't even have to talk about these other sites right now. Matter of fact, I am going to throw this in here. We got a YouTube channel. Check out our YouTube channel. Again, as I was talking about divine intervention, again, this is way ahead of the game on the CERT basic training, but you can go here and see some of the things that we got right here. And I'm gonna close out with this. For people who particularly think I don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to our YouTube channel, which is CEFEMAP space news, go to that channel. And this video right here, I got 2 videos, one with Everson, one right here. This one right here on this playlist, because that's what these are called, so you hear me referring to playlist. Go to this playlist, Cincinnati Works playlist, and look at this second video. In 2018, I told y'all they was coming with shots. In 2018, I was saying, like, who is these white folks coming with these shots? So there's more stuff coming. I can't talk about it right now, but that's it. Let me go back to the original thing here, and we're done. Yay! Okay, this is the original deal here. Community Disaster Preparedness Training. We're starting December 7th and 10th in Cincinnati, CERT basic training. Hope to see you out. Particularly brothers, come on out. Especially if you can give up some time to really support the community. Can't do it without you. Can't do it without you. People gonna get messed up, and I need them brothers to step up to the plate. Peace to you and yours.